weather in Brewton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
A tornado warning is in effect for parts of southern Santa Rosa and southern Okaloosa counties, valid until 11:45 a.m. Hope you're having a nice Sunday morning. This is a call to action for areas near Milton, Whiting Field, and areas near Harold in Santa Rosa County. You are under a tornado warning if you're at Milton, areas near Whiting Field, Point Baker. Possible tornado is going to be right in through here, pushing to the southeast. And this is quickly going to move into areas near Parkerville and Harold in Santa Rosa County. We're calling a tornado warning at this point. That's what the Weather Service has just issued, and you need to take action if you are near Milton to protect yourself, as we have a possible tornado on the north side of town pushing off to the southeast. First thing we need to do is tell you exactly who's involved in this, because Santa Rosa County is a very populous county here in northwest Florida. And if you are at Whiting Field or Milton, you are involved in this new tornado warning that's on the board until 11:45 a.m. So you need to do something about it right now. Get to that tornado safe place if you are at Whiting Field or Milton. We'll zoom in real tight and we'll show you that Point Baker is also involved in the tornado warning polygon. So again, Whiting Field, Point Baker, Milton, Baghdad, all involved in this new tornado warning, valid until 11:45 a.m. So you need to be taking shelter there. Same thing at Harold, same thing at Parkerville. You are involved in this tornado warning. This also is going to include areas out here near Rowville and also near the, not Chumuckla Highway, but Munson Highway in through here. This is Munson Highway. This is Florida State Highway 87. This is Florida State Highway 89. Possible tornado near Point Baker on the north side of Milton, pushing to the southeast. And so it can't be stressed enough, if you have a Milton, Florida mailing address and you're at home, you need to be taking action to protect yourself, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. This possible tornado is going to continue to rapidly push off to the southeast, and the weather is absolutely horrible right now across Santa Rosa County. We've had these intense storms that continue to push across the county. And let's actually go over to the iPad source and I'll be able to show you that with more vivid detail. Look at that, goodness gracious. Upwards of 70 mile per hour wind gusts in through here. Look at that, 85 mile per hour winds, even outside of the tornado possible with these thunderstorms pushing through Milton, Florida right now. And again, this thing is rapidly pushing to the southeast. So the good news is it's not going to be a long-lasting warning, but the bad news is when you get 85 mile per hour winds, obviously you can have some pretty extreme problems. And so possible tornado is actually going to be now on the eastern side of Milton. Let's back this up and see what triggered this. And it looks like right there, that's actually what triggered the tornado warning. And again, this thing is just moving like a train on a track down through Milton, very near Rowville right now, about to come into areas near the US Highway 90 and Interstate 10 corridor in through here in Santa Rosa County. We have this active tornado warning. For those of you that just may be joining us, current time is 11:20 a.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and we're tracking a possible tornado in Santa Rosa County, Florida. Possible tornado is now on the northeastern side of Milton, right in through here, pushing off to the southeast. Won't be long in Milton and Point Baker till we're able to give you an all clear, but we certainly can't do that yet. Same thing at Whiting Field. I need you to stay in that tornado warning hiding place for the next few minutes, as we have a possible tornado doing damage in Santa Rosa County, moving off to the southeast. This is the fourth consecutive day with a tornado warning in our local area. In my career, over the last 7-8 years, this has not happened. And so a very active weather pattern. And unfortunately, we have more severe weather on the way as we get into the late evening and potentially overnight hours as we get into Monday as well. And so wave after wave of severe weather. Right now, the issues are in northwest Florida. Across Santa Rosa and Escambia counties, we have a severe thunderstorm warning box. That's what you see here, this orange polygon. And the Weather Service has actually upped this and is now calling this a destructive threat. So in addition to the potential for a tornado on the northeastern side of Milton, we're also particularly concerned about the northeastern part of Santa Rosa County as well. Berrydale, Munson, Allentown, Whitfield, Munson Highway, Spring Hill, all under the gun from 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts right now. And that's rapidly going to move into Okaloosa County as well. So if you're near Baker, Holt, Crestview, just know the tornado threat's to your south, but you may have 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts coming in over the next few minutes. Let's go back down to our tornado warning, because this is why we've come on the air this morning. And again, if you're in Harold or Pine Bluff, you are now in the core danger zone from this imminent tornado threat. Possible tornado near Milton, rapidly moving to the southeast at about 50 miles per hour. This thing is wasting no time pushing off to the southeast. And if you're in Pace or Pea Ridge, you are not under this tornado warning. The possible tornadoes out here: Pace, Pea Ridge, Avalon Boulevard, 5 Points, Shamuckla. All those areas are back behind the threat. So you have no active threat if you're at Pace, Shamuckla, Pea Ridge, or Avalon Boulevard. The threat is going to be basically at Milton and points off to the east. Whiting Field still technically included in this tornado warning, and it can't be stressed enough, if you know someone that may be traveling on Interstate 10 or US Highway 90 near Milton, Florida at 11:23 a.m. on this Sunday, call them now, text them now, tag them in the comments below now, because this could be a very serious situation and they don't need to be driving on Interstate 10, let's say between Crestview all the way back down to Avalon Boulevard there south of Milton, because this could be a tornado about to cross the interstate. Even if we don't have a tornado down, we've got 80+ mile-per-hour wind gusts happening in through here. And unfortunately, I'm afraid that the straight line wind gusts in this case may be just as bad as this brief tornado that has developed over the last few minutes in Santa Rosa County. Pardon me if I'm looking off screen a good bit. We're watching our sources to see exactly what we've got going on. And the good news is I don't see anything immediately coming in of damage. I take that back. Just got a photo in from Milton, trampoline blown around. Yeah, and these winds are doing things just like this. I'm afraid this may be the first of many damage reports that we get over the next little bit from Milton. This is from Paul Wysong, and trampoline blown over. All right, that's the kind of stuff you're going to get with these storms. Could be more severe than that even, with trees coming down left and right. Here's some good news. Now that the line of storms has passed Milton, let me look at that. Yeah, we'll give you a tornado all clear in the city of Milton. All right, so tornado all clear in Milton. Same thing at Point Baker, same thing at Whiting Field on 87. Whiting Field, Point Baker, Milton, all clear from the imminent tornado threat. The threat has now moved over to Harold and Pine Bluff down here south of Interstate 10. This is Florida State Highway 87 that connects Milton down to Navarre. And again, the possible tornado is going to be right in through here, about to cross onto the Eglin Air Force Base land reservation out there near Camp J.E. Rudder, right there in Okaloosa County, under a tornado warning. So if you know someone working at Eglin property on Camp J.E. Rudder, call them now. Let them know they're under an active tornado warning. And I suspect that we will get a new severe thunderstorm warning at bare minimum for parts of Okaloosa County over the next few minutes, as in addition to the tornado threat, we're also tracking storms that could be producing wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour. So a very, very serious storm working its way through northwest Florida. Here's some good news. If you're in the Pensacola metro, you are fine right now. Lots of rain, lots of lightning, gusty winds, but nothing destructive or damaging at Pensacola right now. This severe thunderstorm, really the leading edge is where we're expecting the issues. And let's change over to the iPad view, and I think you'll be able to see that over the last few minutes, this has really worked its way into the far eastern part of Santa Rosa County. Yeah, goodness, that signature really is just quite impressive. We'll go over to the radar scope source and put the probe out. Look at that. Upwards of 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts in through here. We'll move this, look at that. Could have upwards of 90-mile-per-hour winds coming into areas near Holt in eastern Santa Rosa County. Holt is going to be right in through here. You've got areas near Pine Bluff right here on 87. Here's Crestview over here. And this is eastern Santa Rosa County, under the gun from a very destructive thunderstorm capable of knocking down trees left and right, 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts, in addition to this threat of a possible tornado. Look, it doesn't matter if it's a tornado or if it's 90 mile per hour winds, you get the same results. Trees coming down on houses, be in a site-built structure away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. Current time now 11:28 a.m. Just looking at our different inboxes and social sites to see if we have anything in the way of damage coming in from Milton and Pace. It is so helpful if you get damage of any type to let us know about it in the comments below so we can thus warn people downwind from this. All right, and there's your new severe thunderstorm warning that I alluded to. So this is going to be a new, separate severe thunderstorm warning coming on the board for parts of Okaloosa County. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, that is the most appropriate thing to do here. Let's go back over to our LD1 source and we'll show you that we now have a severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Santa Rosa and northern, all of Okaloosa County, nearly all of Okaloosa County. Crestview, Dukefield, Baker, areas near Auburn, Campton, Niceville, Fort Walton Beach, Ocean City, Valparaiso, VPS, Eglin Air Force Base, Mary Esther, Destin. You're now under a severe thunderstorm warning, and this is one to take seriously. In fact, the Weather Service is calling this a destructive storm. Look at that. They've included the destructive tag. This is now the fourth day in a row that we've had one of these destructive severe thunderstorms capable of producing upwards of 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts. And so what we're going to do is get out this Red Zone Weather app alert, and we're going to do something we don't normally do for Okaloosa County. We're going to include a high wind alert because what that means is our app system kind of uses some enhanced language to warn the folks in Okaloosa County. And so if you're in our Okaloosa County app club in the Red Zone Weather app, you just got a high wind alert. And it's because of this storm in eastern Santa Rosa County that could be producing upwards of 90 mile per hour winds, rapidly pushing off to the east. Let's go back over to our iPad source, our radar scope source, I should say. And that blue dot that you see right in through there, let's put the probe out because that thing has really ramped up over the last little bit. And just looking at this look at that. We could have upwards of 100 mile per hour winds happening near the community of Harold in eastern Santa Rosa County. The radar beam is hitting this at about 2,000 to 3,000 feet above the surface. But when you see radar signatures like this in a severe thunderstorm warning, this is a very serious situation for eastern Santa Rosa County. As of 11:30 a.m., we do need to tell you that if you are in Milton, Pace, Avalon Boulevard area, Point Baker, Whiting Field, Munson, you are now behind the leading edge of this storm, all right? So the tornado warning is over for Milton, same thing at Pea Ridge, same thing at Baghdad, same thing at Point Baker and Allentown. You're done with the tornado warning. The tornado warning specifically now includes parts of western Okaloosa County. That's the area we're most concerned about. You see Met's Lookout Tower, that's out on the Eglin property, Eglin Air Force Base, the reservation. There's Camp J.E. Rudder. If you know anyone that would be working at Camp Rudder on Eglin Air Force Base, you need to call them right now and let them know that there's an active tornado warning, and perhaps more importantly at this point, there's this destructive severe thunderstorm warning polygon that's just been put in place for Okaloosa County. Let's pause for 1 second and go back up to West Alabama, because we do have storms coming into Clark and Washington counties as well. This is a nasty storm in Choctaw County, and the Weather Service calling this a considerable damage threat, which means we could have upwards of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts coming into Coffeyville, coming into Morven, Campbell, areas here in western Clark and northern Washington counties, also Silver Cross, Frankville, St. Stephen's, involved in this severe thunderstorm warning in West Alabama. Southern Marengo County, Sweetwater, Dixon's Mills, Linden, areas near Aimwell, also areas just south of Thomaston, involved in a tornado warning, or excuse me, a severe thunderstorm warning in southern Marengo County. We'll get a new severe thunderstorm warning for Clark County shortly. I guarantee you that's coming. But again, let's go back down to our tornado warning, because this remains in effect for parts of Okaloosa County, specifically the western part of Okaloosa County, out here to the north of Harris, north of Hurlburt Field. This is going to be a possible tornado that is rapidly moving toward Niceville and areas near Eglin Air Force Base, which is right here, Valparaiso, VPS, possible tornado moving just like that. I suspect that the Weather Service may consider issuing a new tornado warning for parts of southern Okaloosa. But look, even if they don't, this is a destructive storm capable of producing 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts near Niceville, Fort Walton Beach, and Destin over the next few minutes. Hurlburt Field, Ocean City, Eglin Air Force Base, all those areas, you need to be inside, away from windows and doors. Treat this like a tornado warning, even though you haven't got a tornado warning specifically in your area. This is a destructive, severe thunderstorm warning, and it means business. Don't play with this thing. This is not, your run-of-the-mill summer pop-up storm severe thunderstorm warning. No, this is one that could be destructive in nature, that could be producing damage upwards of 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts. And so please be inside if you're at Destin, Fort Walton Beach, or Niceville. Same thing at Crestview, all right? Crestview's up here. Same thing at Baker, Milligan, all those areas in the northern part of Okaloosa County. Be in your safe place, as this is a destructive, severe thunderstorm pushing off to the east. 11:34 a.m. on this Sunday, June the 18th, and normally we do not have tornado warnings on June the 18th unless we have a tropical system nearby. We have had this insane upper level flow that has produced numerous severe weather events over the last few days, and unfortunately we have more on the way. At some point I'm going to be able to stop saying that, but not right now. We have more events ahead. Probably in the overnight hours tonight we may have more storms, and then another event on Monday. And so take a deep breath. We're in the middle of one right now, but more on the way. Here's the wide view across the region, and we have two distinct clusters of thunderstorms, one of which extends from Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties back down to southern Baldwin County near the Alabama beaches through Pensacola. The severe part of that cluster of thunderstorms is happening in parts of Okaloosa and far eastern Santa Rosa counties. And I'm seeing reports that we got trees down in Pace, all right, on the northern side of Pace. I wouldn't be surprised by that based on the signature that we've observed over the last few minutes with this severe storm coming through Santa Rosa County. So trees down in Pace, so immensely helpful for folks across the region. If you will, let us know if you have any damage. Let us know if your power's out in the comments below. That's also immensely helpful. And later today, I don't think we're going to have any imminent hail issues now, but later today, and I say today specifically into tonight, we may have more storms that produce large hail. And so it's always immensely helpful to see the hail and get an approximate location of where that is happening. And so watching this very carefully, yeah, and that's going to be that new severe thunderstorm warning. You're hearing that noise in the background. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Clark, Monroe, Wilcox, Marengo, and Washington counties over in West Alabama. And so quickly, let me get out that app alert for our folks in Clark County specifically, as we now have a severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be rolling until 12:15 p.m. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning for Clark County till 12:15. This also is going to include parts of Monroe County in southwest Alabama till 12:15. p.m. Lots of alarms and dings in the background, but that's me getting out these app alerts so that we can keep you safe ahead of these storms pushing in from the west. Nasty storms right now near Gilbertown and Choctaw County. Same thing along the Alabama Highway 17 corridor there, coming down through Milry and Yarbo. Those are going to make a beeline into Clark County near Thomasville, areas near Grove Hill, Jackson, Simcoe, Coffeyville, West Bend over the next few minutes. Let's go back to our storm, though, down in northwest Florida, because this is the one that really means business. Could have upwards of 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts coming into areas potentially as far east as Niceville, Eglin Air Force Base, Fort Walton Beach, and Mary Esther over the next few minutes. Let me look at the velocities on this. And I tell you what, let's just do it together because we want to give you an accurate assessment of what we're looking at here. Still looking at 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts with this storm. Coming into Fort Walton Beach, coming into Hurlburt Field and Niceville over the next few minutes. And so very intense storm coming into Okaloosa County. We'll go back over to our local radar source. Tell you what, before we do that, let's look at the whole state. Because right now, all the active weather in the state of Alabama is happening in our backyard. Basically from the Highway 80 corridor back down south to the beaches. That's where we have all these thunderstorms. Anything north of US Highway 80, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, you're fine. All right, the northern half of the state is fine. This is for southern Alabama specifically, and really the southwestern corner of the state is where we're seeing the issues right now. Here's your new severe thunderstorm warning, and this is going to be on the board until 12:15 p.m. This is going to be a new warning for the communities that I call out. So if I call you out, you're now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Could have upwards of 70 mile per hour wind gusts shortly in these communities: Thomasville, Jackson, Grove Hill, Watley, Gosport, Simcoe, West Bend, Campbell, Morven, Bashai, areas near Chilton, McIntyre, US Highway 84, US Highway 43, Toddtown, Silitpa, Gainstown, Alma, Allen, Suggsville, Purdue Hill, Monroeville, Mexie, areas near Scratch Ankle, also areas near Uri. Looks like Frisco City and Excel right on the line in this severe thunderstorm warning. Nonetheless, these storms are going to continue to work their way to the east very rapidly. Let's see how fast these storms are moving according to the Weather Service text here. Yeah, they're trucking on to the east at about 55 miles an hour. And so basically all of Clark County at this point, you need to be getting inside. You don't need to be on the roads. I realize it's a Sunday morning and it's 11:40 a.m., so I'm assuming most of the church services are done, but some will get out at 12 noon. And if you know someone that would be getting out of church at 12 noon on a Sunday in Clark or Monroe counties, you need to call them and let them know that we could have 70 mile per hour wind gusts coming in from the west, all right? And they need to just, hang out at the church or, get some food, that sort of thing. You don't need to be driving in this mess that's coming into Clark County, Alabama from the west. Same thing, by the way, down here in northwest Florida. If you know someone that would be getting out of church over the next, 30 minutes in Crestview, Baker, Niceville, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, areas down there near Hurlburt Field, Eglin Air Force Base, call them. Let them know they need to just hang tight. All right, this is a nasty storm. This storm down in northwest Florida is a bit stronger than the one up in west Alabama. And so what I'm telling you is don't play with this. If you're in the areas that I just called out, as this could be a very serious situation in northwest Florida. We know that trees have come down in pace. We have seen reports over the last few minutes of trees coming down in pace. Getting reports of power lines down and power outages in Milton. This is exactly what we would expect to see, unfortunately, in a severe thunderstorm warning. And by the way, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Walton, Washington County, Florida, also Holmes County and Bay County, all the way down to Panama City. Seaside, Miramar Beach, Santa Rosa Beach, Freeport, Defuniak Springs, all now under a severe thunderstorm warning valid until 12:30 p.m. So Walton, Holmes, Washington, Florida, and Bay County is now under a new severe thunderstorm warning due to the same thing that we've been talking about. This storm that's moving through Okaloosa County, Florida, very rapidly at about 60 miles per hour. Let's get in there tight and kind of zoom in on some of the neighborhoods here, because this is an active severe thunderstorm warning that could be producing damage. We know that damage has happened back in Santa Rosa County, and the core of this is about to come into Crestview, all right, if it's not already. And so 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts possible in Crestview. Same thing along Florida State Highway 85 near Duke Field. Same thing in Niceville. Here's Niceville. You've got Eglin Village. That's actually part of Eglin Air Force Base right there near the airport, which is right here, VPS. Here's Ocean City. Here's Fort Walton Beach. Mary Esther is here. All these areas about to take the brunt of what could be a nasty thunderstorm, and I say could be, it is a nasty thunderstorm coming in from the northwest. Be inside in these areas, can't be stressed enough. Going to get out a hyper-local alert in the Red Zone Weather app. I actually go into our system and draw our own zone. And for folks in southern Okaloosa County and southern Walton County, we just sent out an enhanced alert to let folks know we have this ongoing severe thunderstorm warning for your area. And this could be a situation where you get trees coming down left and right. Yeah, and look, if you are in Milton, I am seeing a ton of different reports of trees coming down and that sort of thing due to what likely was damaging straight line winds. The Weather Service will send out an assessment team, but there also could have been a brief tornado in through here. The tornado warning polygon that you see there, that really has, to be completely frank, become a bit irrelevant as the velocities on this remain incredibly high and consistent with a damaging straight line wind signature. And so even if it's not a tornado, which I don't think it is based on what I'm seeing here, these damaging straight line winds mean business, and you need to take it seriously in southern Okaloosa County as you are next in line to potentially see this mess. We'll go back to the velocity view, and that really tells the tale. There is nothing in through there that would suggest an imminent, localized area of tornado winds, but there is a large damaging wind signature coming into Fort Walton, coming into Wright, VPS, Valparaiso, Niceville, Destin, Santa Rosa Beach, and Miramar Beach. If you're in southern Walton County, you need to be sheltered now, getting to the lowest floor of a site-built structure away from windows indoors. Weather Service as of 11:45 a.m. continuing to call this a destructive thunderstorm capable of producing 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts, rapidly coming into Niceville, Fort Walton Beach, and Destin. By the way, we need to go back quickly to our storm up in West Alabama because we're working two events here. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for parts of Clark and Monroe counties. This does not technically include Monroeville, but it does include Frisco City, Mexie, Uri, Purdue Hill, areas near Vredenburg, Chance, also Lower Peachtree, Grove Hill, Thomasville, Jackson, Watley, Old Line Road, McIntyre, Zimco. All in line to see upwards of 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts over the next few minutes in West Alabama. You are under an active severe thunderstorm warning, and this is the like the 7th day in a row, I think, that we've had severe thunderstorm warnings across the region. Here's some good news to pass along. The tornado warning has been canceled, and it's gone at this point. So we're down to a severe thunderstorm warning, but let me be clear, I say down to. This is a destructive, severe thunderstorm capable of downing trees left and right in this area. and just sending a message in our NWS chat feed. Let's kind of work the storm from south to north in this case, because the weather is at its worst in places like Hurlburt Field, Harris, coming into areas near Ocean City and Fort Walton Beach. Could have upwards of 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Same thing at VPS, which is the Destin Fort Walton Beach Airport. Niceville, you're next in line. Going to be probably 3 to 5 minutes until this nasty storm moves in from the west. Here's the Eglin Reservation. Metz Lookout Tower is here. Camp J.E. Rudder is here. This is a horrible storm. Upwards of 80 to 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts coming through now. If you're at Harold or Holt, this is the worst of the weather for you. In fact, it looks like the core of this has passed a bit to your east. Same thing at Baker. It looks like the core of this is going to miss you just to the south, but nasty, nasty weather right now in Holt, Crestview, areas near Milligan as well in Okaloosa County, right in through here. This is State Highway 4, this is US Highway 90, this is Interstate 10, just to give you some geographical reference. And it looks like the core of this storm is going to remain from Crestview and points south. Should be okay in Auburn, Campton, back up to Laurel Hill in the northern part of Okaloosa County. I'm getting several images in over the last few minutes. And again, if you send in a damage report, please include a location, all right? We can't, ascertain where a tree down is, all right? So if you're sending an image, it's greatly appreciated, but, please include a location because we don't know where the tree's coming down left and right. Here's a tree that's down, and this does have a location attached. We want to thank, let's see here if I can pull that up for you. This is from Laura Saito, and she is near Pace and Milton. Got a tree down in parts of Milton there. That image coming from Laura Saito. We want to thank her for that. And let's see if we can show some more of the damage in that area. And y'all know the drill. If I go silent, we got so many things going on, and I'll get right back to it. But yeah, here's another one. This is coming in from Riley Henson. We got a truck damaged, I should say, in East Milton. And again, this photo is from Riley Henson. Let's see if we can pull this up on the screen for you so that you can see it. Tell you what, I'll just manually move it over. There it is. That's the kind of damage you're going to get in Niceville over the next few minutes. Be sheltered inside. If you're in Niceville, Fort Walton Beach, this is the kind of damage. Trees coming down left and right. We'll go back over to our radar source. Yeah, and I tell you, I just got a photo of a tree down and there's no location attached. And so again, it can't be stressed enough. If you're sending in damage photos, thank you, but I have no idea where this is, so we're not going to show it. Here's one that does have a location attached. This is from East Milton, and this is a tree down there. There it is. All right, we got trees down left and right across the greater Milton, Florida area from this storm that's now moving into Niceville, Fort Walton Beach, VPS, Ocean City, ultimately going to cross the Choctawhatchee Bay into Destin. Could have damage just like that. These winds are no joke at this point. Same thing at Navarre. If you're at Navarre, let's go down here and look at this. It looks like the core of this really is going to pass Navarre to the north. But if you're in the city of Navarre, could have upwards of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts down here, maybe a few trees down and that sort of thing near Navarre, near areas near the Gulf Breeze Zoo, also near Hurlburt Field over the next few minutes. Again, the core of this is really coming into Fort Walton, Niceville, Duke Field, and it's now basically on the eastern side of Crestview. If you're in Deerland or Dorcas, this is going to be near you pretty quick as well. So be in a safe place away from windows as we have a destructive, severe thunderstorm coming into Deerland and Dorcas in northwest Florida, specifically there in Okaloosa County, over the next few minutes. Let's zoom out quickly and show you a wide view across the region as it's now 11:51 a.m. We have severe thunderstorms coming into Thomasville as well. So a severe thunderstorm warning now in place for Thomasville in southwest Alabama. This is US Highway 43. Fulton is here, Grove Hill, Dickinson, areas near Sand Flat, Springfield, Old Highway 5, areas near Cyrene, Nettleboro, Grove Hill, Watley. Severe thunderstorms pushing in from the west. And this could be the most intense storm that Clark County has had in terms of wind damage in the last few days. And so take this one seriously. Let's see. Yeah, the Weather Service is calling this a considerable damage threat. Upwards of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts not out of the question, not only in the places in Clark County that I just called out, but also in southern Marengo County near Sweetwater, Dixon's Mills, and also in Wilcox County. Pine Hill, areas near Catherine, Camden, Possum Bend, areas there near the big paper mill on Alabama Highway 10 near Yellow Bluff, Coy, Veredenburg, all those areas. Severe thunderstorm warning for you. Same thing in Monroe County. You've got Purdue Hill, Mexie, Frisco City, Homewood, Uri, Eliska, also areas near Fountain. You've also got, let's see, what else is in through here? You've got Axel, areas out here near Franklin also involved in this severe thunderstorm warning. Gosport as well. The Alabama River runs right in through here. Claiborne Lock and Dam is right there. So if you're near any of the areas that I just called out, you need to be inside. Don't be on the roads. If you know someone that would be getting out of church at noon perhaps, or if the preacher's running long, maybe 12:15, call them and let them know that we have a severe thunderstorm moving in from the west. All right, that's West Alabama. We'll go back to our storm down in northwest Florida. And I'll tell you what, let's actually quickly look at these storms in southern Baldwin County because these storms are under severe limits. All right, this is Baldwin County, Alabama, and you are fine right now if you are in Orange Beach or Gulf Shores. And I say fine, don't get me wrong. I know the weather's horrible. Ono Island, Perdido Key, same thing. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, but this storm is under severe limits if you're at Orange Beach. Same thing over here in southern Mobile County. Nasty storms happening near Theodore, Tillman's Corner, Interstate 10, south of the Mobile Metro, but those storms are under severe limits. Let's go back over to our storm in northwest Florida because this is the main event at this point in Okaloosa County. Going to rapidly cross into Walton County. And I'm getting word that we are going to go under a new severe thunderstorm watch until 22 Z time. So 22 Z time, that's going to be 5 o'clock. Z time is universal time, and so what that means is 5 o'clock, new severe thunderstorm watch coming for the entire area. We've had a severe thunderstorm watch since, I don't know, whenever I woke up this morning at about 5:30 a.m., but now we're going to see a new watch come into place for our entire local area, valid until 5 p.m. local time. Thank you to everyone who has sent in reports over the last few minutes. I'm trying my best to watch those Facebook comments and just looking down to see if we have anything in the way of more damage reports over the last few minutes. This is going to be a video coming in from Christina White, and this is going to be from Pine Blossom Road. Tell you what, let's see if I can back that up and we'll take that full. Yeah, look at that.
Pretty good.
Trees down over the roadway. Pine Blossom Road there in
that's
Santa
not
Rosa
good.
County, Florida.
This is smoking,
Lots
Jay.
of debris on the road. This is very reminiscent of the MCS, the mesoscale convective system that
Smart.
moves through inland areas of southwest Alabama. And that is a perfect video of what we're likely going to see across Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties with this storm moving through, knocking down debris left and right. Let's put this in motion, and there we go.
Yeah,
So that you
pretty
can
good.
see, again, this video is
Oh,
from
power
Christina
lines.
White, who
Oh, that's not
have
good.
damage just like
This is
this
smoking,
coming
Jay.
into Niceville,
Yeah, we're
areas
hanging out.
near
Why would they get onto that
Destin
road?
Fort Walton Beach Airport,
This is
Fort
smart.
Walton Beach, back up to potentially as far north as Crestview. Thanks to Christina White for that video. See what else we've got in our inbox over the last few minutes. There's another view of the tree in East Milton. This is from Sarah Spurgeon, and we'll take that full to show you, yeah, there's a tree down, big tree down. If that comes down on your house, this is on a road obviously, but if that comes down on your house, you got big problems. Niceville, make it happen, be in a safe place. Could have damage just like this. Again, this is from Sarah Spurgeon in East Milton. Let's see if we can show the video. In fact, that's a creepy looking cloud. No way to know if that's a funnel cloud or not, but it sure does look like it. That's from East Milton. That could have been the tornado that prompted the tornado warning. I don't see, it's hard to see with the trees and houses, but that could be a tornado. All right, we may be looking at what was the tornado back in Santa Rosa County. And so these storms really mean business this morning. And let's pause from the damage for a second, because I do want to zoom into the areas now under the gun from this destructive severe thunderstorm that could be producing 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts coming into areas near Niceville right now, at Destin, at Duke Field. This is rapidly going to cross into Walton County, Miramar Beach, Sandestin. You need to be off the roads. You need to be inside, away from windows, as we could have 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts coming in. Same thing at Choctaw Beach, same thing at Freeport. If you're anywhere near the eastern shores of Choctawhatchee Bay in southern Walton County, be inside. Don't play with this. Same thing at Santa Rosa Beach, Seaside, Rosemary Beach, areas near Laguna Beach, all the way back down to Panama City Beach. Be in a safe place, as we have nasty severe thunderstorms knocking down trees left and right at Niceville, Duke Field, and Crestview. All right. Weather Service is continuing to call this a destructive severe thunderstorm moving right into Miramar Beach and Destin from the northwest. So again, we want folks inside. If you know someone at Miramar Beach or Santa Rosa Beach, you need to text them and call them now, as we could have damaging straight line winds coming in from the west. Nasty storm at Destin and Niceville right now, and this thing is rapidly moving into Walton County. Here's some good news. We need to just pause for a second and give some all clears out. If you're at Navarre, Muddy Ford, Holly, any part of Santa Rosa County, Florida, we'll give you a temporary severe weather all clear. The threat has ended for now in Santa Rosa County, Florida, and we'll give you an all clear. Yes, you've got lightning and heavy rain ongoing, but the imminent severe weather threat in Santa Rosa County has come to a close. Same thing at Baker and Milligan and points north in Okaloosa County. You are now without a warning. And so northern Okaloosa County, let's just say north of Interstate 10, will give you an all clear in places like Campton, Auburn, Laurel Hill, Blackman, Good Hope, Hurricane Lake, Escambia Farms, Baker, Milligan. You're done at this point. Yes, you've got rain and lightning, but big storms happening to your south. Let's go back up to our storm in West Alabama, because nasty storms moving through Thomasville right now. Same thing at Grove Hill, same thing at Jackson and Toddtown. These storms are going to move into Wilcox and Monroe counties over the next few minutes here in southwest Alabama. Could have upwards of 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. The Weather Service continues to call this a considerable damage threat. And so be in a safe place if you're at Thomasville, Pine Hill, Possum Bend, Yellow Bluff, Franklin, Chance, Packers Bend, Old Line Road, Gosport. Be in a safe place. Severe thunderstorm warning for you. That tone that you're hearing in the background is a new severe thunderstorm watch that has just come on the board. And I think what the Weather Service is going to do is include inland areas, but it looks like they're going to leave coastal areas out. Yeah, and here's a nice shot of the leading edge of the storms coming through Destin right now. This was actually a bit ago when the storm was back in Santa Rosa County, but nonetheless, leading edge of the thunderstorms producing a shelf cloud. You're looking to the south, obviously, because this is moving to the east, and lots of lightning, lots of thunder. very heavy rain. This was when the storm was back in Santa Rosa County, but you can see how quickly those clouds are moving. You see the wind in through there increasing on the leading edge of these storms. That's what you're about to get if you're at Santa Rosa Beach, Miramar Beach, or areas in central Walton County. All right, so tell you what, let's go back over to our big radar view, and I want to change the vantage point back to the mobile radar because at this point, we have no active tornado warnings. And so our plan of action, we're going to keep going until noon. And then right after the noon hour hits, we will go back to covering storms in the Red Zone Weather app. So let's tell you what we've got going on right now. A severe thunderstorm warning continues for southern Okaloosa County, valid until 12:15 p.m. Numerous trees down in southern Santa Rosa County from this. I've had no reports yet from Okaloosa County, but I suspect that we will shortly. And yeah, I'm seeing minor damage as far north as Chumuckla in our inbox here. Thank you to everyone who's sending in photos. Here's another view of what you may be about to get in Santa Rosa Beach, Miramar Beach, and areas in southern Walton County, perhaps near Freeport as well. Tree down in Pace. This photo is from Faith Johnson. Again, that's from Andrew Jackson Drive in Pace. You can see a big tree down. And just looking at this together, ooh, big tree down at Milligan. Look at that, goodness gracious. This is why we have these ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings in place, because of big trees coming down. And if that comes down on your house, obviously you've got big problems. So please be inside, as we are getting a ton of different damage reports. That's from Andrea Wilkinson. Here's another one. This is going to be coming in from Niceville. That photo has not come into our system properly just yet. But let's talk about, again, what we've got going on, because we have an ongoing severe thunderstorm warning because of this storm moving through Niceville, areas near Deerland, Dorcas, coming into areas near Choctaw Beach and Freeport in Walton County. Very heavy rain happening near Destin, coming into Miramar and Santa Rosa Beach and Seaside over the next few minutes, in addition to the potential for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts over the next few minutes. The storm is not as impressive as it once was about 20 minutes ago. It's kind of exhaling at this point and becoming a little bit more weak, but make no mistake, I hate to use the word weak because this is still a strong thunderstorm pushing off to the southeast just like that. So again, Walton County, be in a safe place. You don't want to be on the roads in southern Walton County near Defuniak Springs, points south down to Santa Rosa Beach. Let's go back up to our storm in West Alabama, because this storm near Thomasville continues to produce gusty winds, perhaps as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour. And this is going to rapidly come into areas near Gosport, Watley, Cyrene, Camden, Possum Bend, and Pine Hill over the next few minutes. We would encourage you, again, to not be on the roads at this point. In Clark County or Monroe County or Wilcox County in southwest Alabama. Because it is now afternoon and because we have no tornado warnings, what we need to do is tell you about this new severe thunderstorm watch that has just come on the board. And then what we'll do is go back, to covering storms in the Red Zone Weather app, because at this point, no tornado warning. So again, let's take off the radar data, and we can tell you that if you are in the following counties that I call out, you're under a new severe thunderstorm watch valid until 5 p.m. local time. Escambia, Alabama, Conecuh, Monroe, Wilcox, Butler, Crenshaw, Covington, Pike, Coffee, Geneva, Dale, Henry, Houston, and Barber. All those counties in South Alabama under a new severe thunderstorm watch valid until 5 o'clock. We also have counties in the Florida Panhandle and Northwest Florida involved in this new severe thunderstorm watch as well. Walton, Holmes, Washington, Florida, Bay, Jackson, Calhoun, Gulf counties, points east. Same thing in southwest Georgia, areas near Albany and Bainbridge under this active severe thunderstorm watch valid until 5 o'clock. We may have more storms fire up over the next several hours. In fact, I can load up the projected radar view here to show you that we do have more storms coming in. Let me see if I can queue up the high-res rapid refresh model real quick and just kind of together look at this and see what we've got going on over the next few hours. So let's take that full. Again, looking at the future radar at this point to see what we've got going on. That is, let's see if I can change that timestamp so you can see that. There we go. So here's your timestamp right up here. All right, this is valid at 1 o'clock. We'll advance this forward and kind of watch this together. And I'm seeing this data as you are. So it looks like we may get somewhat of a lull in activity through 4 o'clock and potentially even into the evening hours. And then as we get into the overnight hours, you see that mess above us. Ooh, goodness. That could be another MCS coming our way as we get into the overnight hours, all right? That look is valid at 3 a.m. on Monday. This is the projected radar, 3 a.m. on Monday. And perhaps, if this is right, this keeps most of the mess north of our area. Let's go back over to the current radar view across the state. And I'm going to load in another separate model showing what's happening over the next several hours just to see if these two models are in sync. Yeah, and the NAM also has that MCS kind of staying above or north of our local area. That look is valid at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning, tonight, off the North American model. So if that happens to be right, most of the storms would be to our north, but unfortunately, we still have a severe weather risk setting up for Monday. In fact, before we get out of here, let's go ahead and look at that. We'll show you the convective outlook. This is the one valid for today, all right? So let's show you the one for today. Level 3 out of 5 risk because of what we've just seen. 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts, possible tornado in southern Santa Rosa County earlier. Let's change this to tomorrow so that we can look at what's happening for Monday. And we see that the Storm Prediction Center now has a slight level 2 risk in place for much of our region for tomorrow. All right, so we're not done with this by any stretch of the imagination. We'll go back over to the local radar view. And I tell you what, there's the regional radar view. Let's see if we can load up the local view to kind of end our coverage and go back to covering these storms in the Red Zone Weather app, because these storms are rapidly moving into the Florida Panhandle region and also in south central Alabama in places like Monroeville and Camden over the next few minutes. The good news is I don't see anything in the way of an imminent tornado threat nowhere across our region. I continue to look at our sources, and the good news is I just don't see anything that would indicate that we're about to have another tornado warning. So that certainly is a good thing. See if we can load our local radar view just to be able to kind of finish things out here. Current time is now 12:10 p.m. and it looks like the Mobile radar is down. So I tell you what, we'll go over to the Eglin Air Force Base radar and load that up. There we go. And this radar is in operation. I'm not sure what's going on down in Mobile, but they have lost their radar at this point. So we'll see about that over the next few hours. But again, just to recap, 12:10 p.m., ongoing severe thunderstorm warning in progress for parts of Monroe, Clark, and Wilcox counties. Thomasville, Grove Hill, Jackson, you're now behind the main batch of thunderstorms. Could have upwards of quarter-size hail coming into Chance, Veredenburg, Old Line Road, areas near Fountain over the next few minutes. Same thing in Wilcox County near Camden, Possum Bend, Coy, Yellow Bluff, Pine Hill over the next few minutes. Storms in northern Baldwin, northern Mobile counties are currently under severe limits, but those storms appear to be pushing toward Atmore, Perdido, Bay Minette over the next few minutes. We'll see if the Weather Service decides to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for those. Storms in southern Baldwin County under severe limits. Same thing at Pensacola Beach. Loud and proud storms, but those are under severe limits at the moment. We have this ongoing severe thunderstorm warning for parts of southern Okaloosa and all of Walton County at this point. Nasty storms coming into Santa Rosa Beach, Seaside, Point Washington, Rosemary Beach, and Freeport over the next few minutes. Goodness gracious. Fourth consecutive day with a tornado warning, and that's the reason that we came on the air for parts of Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties earlier, but now we have no active tornado warnings. Of course, if we do, we'll come straight back on Facebook Live to bring you the very latest. More coverage coming in the Red Zone Weather app. Hope you have a nice Sunday afternoon.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.